Hello and welcome to the Scatterable channel, and today I want to show you guys a simple, cozy, nice little dope gaming setup you can build yourself for $700. Now behind me there are no catches, there's no exclusive deals, there's no you gotta go to this site on eBay or Craigslist and get this really awesome deal to build this setup. None of that, there's no catches. Everything you see behind me can be purchased off of Amazon with no hassle, which I think is really cool because $700 for all this I think is a pretty affordable entry price to the PC gaming realm. And the great thing about this gaming setup behind me is that I think it's really awesome for beginners, and that is mostly attributed to the gaming PC behind me because that is specifically designed for people wanting to build their first gaming PC, which I'll go into later as to why it's really valuable for first-time PC gamers. But regardless, it does a great job running a lot of titles at 1080p, 60 frames per second, at only $400, so the rest of the peripherals behind me are only about $300 bucks. So this gaming setup behind me is primed to run any games that you like Apex Legends, Fortnite, PUBG, or strategy games like Civilization 6, and the main sponsor of today's video, World of Tanks. So like I said earlier, if you are a brand new PC gamer and you want to get a cool kind of introductory game into the PC Master Race and see what PC gaming feels like, I'd recommend taking a look at World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play tank battle simulator game where you can play with a bunch of other people online in one huge battlefield and battle it out in tanks. And luckily with this gaming PC behind me, it can run that game at 74 frames per second on average at 1080p medium settings, which I think is quite respectable for a smooth gaming experience that at the same time still looks pretty good. So not only does this game run quite well on the gaming PC, but I think as a history buff, I kind of respect that World of Tanks has gone out of their way to make sure that the tanks used in their games are as near to life as possible. So if you wanted to, like me, you could use the German Panzer tank and wreak havoc all over the place if you wanted to. But those are just one of the cool things you can do with World of Tanks. And if you're new to this series like me, you can actually go ahead and check out the code TANKTASTIC, where you can get a free T127 tank, as well as 500 gold and 7 days free of their premium service. So if you'd like to check out World of Tanks, then be sure to use the link in the description below and use that code TANKTASTIC if you want a head start just like me. But aside from that, that's another great game that can be run on this gaming setup behind me. But aside from that, let's talk about the rest of the peripherals behind me. So starting off with, I think the biggest and most game-changing part of this gaming setup is the mouse, which I've chosen the Cooler Master MM710. Now there's a lot of kind of sort of affordable gaming mice on Amazon that look really great, but they don't really have the performance to back it up. And with this $50 gaming mouse, it weighs 53 grams, so it is super lightweight. And a little interesting thing that I've noticed while using this mouse is that I've been under the notion, being an old school FPS gamer, that weight really doesn't do much. Like in Counter-Strike and Halo, all it really did was just kind of allow you to move side to side better, but not really up and down. But with the FPS genre getting more battle royale based, I just noticed that there's so many unpredictable scenarios where you need a mouse that could be flung into any position. And I found that the 53 gram weight on the MM710 does such a great job at that. So I think it's really like the prime 2019 gaming mouse that isn't going to break the bank. Aside from the weight, it has a nice loose cable, which I found really nice for vertical gameplay, so that way the cable doesn't interfere with my gameplay. It's also got the Pixar 3389 sensor, which is the top of the line in the market. It has 16,000 DPI, great precision, and really accurate. And also this mouse is waterproof, which is just something I wanted to mention because, you know, what happens if you spill something on it? This thing won't break. And now for the gaming keyboard, I have the G.Skill KM360. Now this is the most affordable Cherry MX Red gaming keyboard you can find on Amazon to my knowledge. And there's a really important reason why I wanted to choose this keyboard in specific, because not only is it praised by many keyboard reviewers, but there's a lot of gaming keyboards on Amazon that are around this price range that claim to be mechanical, but they just look really overblown and look like RGB barf, but the actual mechanical switches they use aren't authentic Cherry MX mechanical switches. Anyways, aside from the small and kind of modern, sleek, unique design, this keyboard actually also connects over USB Type-C, which is kind of cool because if you have a laptop like me that has a lot of USB Type-C ports, you can connect this keyboard to the laptop and use it as a secondary keyboard, which is kind of neat. And in addition to its sleek modern look, you can actually change the brightness of the LEDs on this keyboard in case you wanted to go with a really stealthy looking appearance. So overall, this is a true mechanical gaming keyboard you can find for $50 that allow you to feel the real thing but for a very affordable price. And now onto the gaming headset. Yes, the Corsair HS35, which is $40. Now the thing that I've noticed with most gaming headsets in this price range is that their audio quality, I would say, is passable. Like, it's good enough for like a basic game like Minecraft or Fortnite, but with these in specific, I found that they kind of meet that same category, but the actual sound quality, crispiness, and bass delivery, and kind of overall soundstage was just a little bit above average. It's not like a $60 headset, but I'd say this is definitely an above average $40 headset. And more or less, since it is Corsair, it's very plushy and it looks pretty good. The ear cups are definitely plush and moist. I'd be totally comfortable wearing this for a very long time. And another cool thing is that the microphone is detachable. So if you wanted to use a more premium microphone, like say if you wanted to upgrade to a streamer-like setup later on and have a full-on studio mic, you can totally do that as well. So aside from the great looks, the pretty above average sound quality for the price, and the detachable microphone, one thing I want to point out is that this has a single jack, which is a problem for gaming PCs like that. So if you wanted to use this with that gaming PC behind me, you will need a splitter, which I will be including in the description below, so you can get this to work on gaming PCs like that don't have an all-in-one connector like this. Next up for the monitor, we have the Pixio PXC243. This is a 24-inch 1080p curved, sleek, bezel-less gaming monitor for only $160. So this monitor sports a 144 Hz refresh rate, which is good for games that can take advantage of a high frame rate, which will allow your gameplay to look that much smoother. And it really is a big difference if you're coming from console over to PC, where you've been used to a TV that's probably stuck at like 60 Hz, and the gameplay has pretty much looked all the same. But if you move over to a monitor like this that is a lot faster, the gameplay will just look kind of like a little bit more believable than just like something on a TV screen. It also has FreeSync, which is supported by the monitor. Right now for the gaming PC, it doesn't actually support FreeSync, so you can't utilize the technology, but once you put in a graphics card, you will be able to, and I will be touching on that later. Yeah, there is no graphics card, but don't freak out, this thing can still run games. And finally, this has a 3 milliseconds response time, an adjustable stand, DVI, HDMI, and VGA connector ports, all in a really nice package, I think, for $160. And now onto the gaming PC, which uses my latest and greatest $400 Electrobyte version 2 gaming PC. Now, like I said earlier, this gaming PC doesn't have a graphics card, and there's a really good reason for it. But despite that, it can still run a lot of the PC titles you'd expect out of a gaming PC, like Fortnite, Apex, Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike, a bunch of other PC games at a very good frame rate at 1080p. So even though, like I said, there isn't a graphics card, don't worry. The gameplay is still pretty smooth and quite elegant. This PC behind me sports the Ryzen 5 3400G, 8GB of RAM running at 3000 MHz, a B450 Max motherboard, and the Max indicates that you don't need to BIOS update the motherboard to utilize that 3rd gen Ryzen processor. It is already updated for you, so that's already covered. It also has a 480GB SSD, 600-watt power supply, and a tempered glass case, all for about $400, which is quite nice. Now here's the game changer about why I really like this gaming PC. Because there is no graphics card, once you get this PC and you truly know what games you really want to play with it, you can actually have a better idea of what graphics card to get later on when you save up more money, which I think is a much better and more budget efficient strategy than, say, trying to predict what graphics card you might want. So say like you just want to play, like when you get a gaming PC, you just want to play the latest and greatest like Fortnite and whatever, but it turns out that game low-key isn't the one for you, and you more or less really enjoy space flight simulator games like No Man's Sky, but those require more power, but your graphics card doesn't have that power because you bought the graphics card for Fortnite and not No Man's Sky. and then you are short $300 for another graphics card. Well, with this gaming PC, you can already find that out, and then save more money later on by getting a graphics card that actually is meant to run the games you really want to play. So that is why this is a great starter gaming PC. You can really kind of test the waters and see what PC games you really like, and then you can actually get a graphics card later on that is specifically for those games. And inside this PC, the PCI Express slot where you would put in a graphics card is completely open, so you can put in AMD or NVIDIA, and as far as power goes, this has a 600 watt power supply, so you can support most graphics cards, I would say up to at most an RTX 2070, even though that's pretty overkill for this system. But with that being said, that is the whole $700 gaming setup, and thank you so much for watching this video. But don't forget to check out World of Tanks, that is in the description below. Use the link to download, and again, if you want a little head start in the game, be sure to use the code TANKTASTIC where you can get the free T127 tank, 500 gold, and 7 days of free premium service. So again, thank you so much to World of Tanks of sponsoring this awesome gaming setup video centered around the game, and of course thank all of you for watching this video as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scatterable channel, signing out.